Okay everyone, so this one went a little bit off the rails in the best possible way, if I may say so. So originally I set out to find an easy way to recreate one of my favorite Sichuan dishes of all time. It's called酸菜鱼. I'll explain what that is in a bit. And you know what? Good news first, I did actually find the shortcut I was looking for, but I'm also 100% sure that I'm gonna get into quite a lot of trouble for it, so please bear with me. But what came after is actually more important, because inspiration struck and I ended up making a delicious fried fish sandwich inspired by the flavors of酸菜鱼and Sichuan cuisine. And that one, you guys, that one's definitely a keeper. But let's start from the beginning. So this video is the final part of my long-term collab with Ming River Baijiu, the sponsor of this series. We covered a whole number of Sichuan delicacies, from chili oil to kung pao chicken, and learned from experts around the world how much there really is to discover. But as a closing chapter, I really wanted to choose a dish that can serve as a reminder of the fact that every cuisine in the world is a living and evolving thing, and that of course involves Sichuan cuisine. And today's dish,酸菜鱼, is a perfect example of that. If you look up its history, you will find more than one origin story, at least 4 to be precise, most of them placing its roots around the Chongqing region, but more importantly only in the late 20th century. So yeah, this dish is not more than just a few decades old, and it actually only grew in popularity across all parts of China outside Sichuan quite recently, and that's when I happened to have picked it up, living in Shanghai back then. But maybe it's time to talk about what 酸菜鱼 actually is. So generally speaking, 酸菜鱼 is this rich, spicy and tangy fish stew topped with delicious chili oil and greens. And I know it maybe doesn't sound super exciting, but trust me, it is good. It's sometimes said to be a derivative of a much more famous but also kind of hardcore dish called 水煮鱼, which is just bursting with spices. For 酸菜鱼, you go much easier on the numbing and spicy profile, and what makes it unique is the addition of, well, 酸菜, that's pickled mustard greens. And you might have pieced it together already, but yes, that is where the name comes from. 酸菜 just means pickled veggies and 鱼 means fish. But honestly, I don't recommend wrecking your brain around translating the names of Chinese food dishes. That usually tends to go wrong. Let's just call it 酸菜鱼. So as always, there are many versions of it. The one I like the most and that I went for in this video has a rich and creamy broth and comes with sweet potato noodles and tofu sheets, making it an entire meal basically. Now, whenever I tackle a new Chinese dish, I always start my research with the classics. I check out Chef Wang Gang and I check out Chinese Cooking Demystified. Both have really good videos on 酸菜鱼with fantastic results, and most of the recipe isn't even that difficult except for one crucial step. They both start with a whole fish, a variety of carp traditionally. And there is a very good reason for this. So when you make 酸菜鱼, you use the fillets of the fish to get delicious tender slices of meat into the dish, but the head, fish bones and everything else are used to get this rich and almost milky white fish stock, which I absolutely love. But guys, relax. I know that like 95% of you, just like me, probably don't have access to, you know, a high quality fish market. And that's what brings me to my simplified and also borderline insane recipe variation. I mean, obviously I think it works, but we'll also have AP and Grace taste it and see if I have completely lost my mind or maybe not. So give me a chance, guys. Enough with the talking, let's go. So first let's address the whole fish conundrum. Since my goal is to maximize access to this dish, I opted for frozen fillets. And these are cod fillets. In my neck of the woods, this is one of the most common ways you find fish in supermarkets. Traditionally, of course, you could go for an Asian sweetwater carp, but let's be real, not gonna happen. Going this route has one major advantage. You can get the required thin slices of fish very easily by using